Ciao Juventini, welcome to another episode of What's Up With You. Now we'll go over the week's recap and news surrounding Juve, and we're going to kick it off with celebrating 10 years of Andrea Agnelli, our president, and what a big swing from where we were and where he's taken us now. You know, nobody's perfect. Neither is Andrea. Two knocks. He's got to fix the situation, in my opinion, with the fans and the curva. And the other is just contracts. If he can straighten that out, he has almost literally achieved perfection. And of course, the European titles have part of that success. But regardless, fantastic turnaround for the club and where we're at, and excited to see what the future holds. Grazie, Andrea. May 28th has become decision day for Serie A. All right, so we know that they've put the dates out of June 14th or June 15th being when the action will resume. However, they're now saying that May 28th is going to be Judgment Day. However, I've been talking about this for a while now with how unorganized they seem, and this is the case because over this weekend now, news and talks are ramping up surrounding playoff system. Now, playoff system, in my opinion, would be terrible. And if it was going to happen, you got to have it just the top two teams as far as the championship goes, because I mean, Inter Merda was 9 points back. Okay, so Merda being 9 points back, and the teams below them even further. Napoli's never been in this thing for quite some time. Giving them an opportunity to win this is not right, in my personal opinion. So if they were going to do it, I'd like to see something where the top two battle it out and the rest can have a playoff to see where they fall as far as the European spots go. But still, I think they should just make it a wash if it came down to that. But to involve those lower teams into it, no, that would be terrible in my opinion. Carrying on, Arthur apparently is starting to come around with a move to join Juventus. Again, this continues and continues and will continue for quite some time, but again, not acknowledging Juve in any way, shape, or form, or saying anything in regards to the club. Now, people are saying, well, it's his dream club, Barcelona, and he wants to stay there and he's fighting for it. It just doesn't hurt to put out a good word for Juve. Is Juve making a mistake pushing so hard for Arthur? And I know we've got a mess of rumors as far as transfers go and players that we're linked with, and everybody is saying, we can do this, we can do that. I literally think that Juve is holding on to this cog and this piece before they can make decisions on elsewhere and what else they do. And I honestly believe if Arthur comes to Juve, we will not be signing Donali. Sorry, but I think honestly, I don't. It doesn't make sense to me that Juve's pushing, but they're not locked in on Tonali. Something's up. There are these other moves going on and what they're trying to work around, and something's definitely there. I think personally, if Arthur comes, don't Tonali. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see. Sarri's been reporting as obviously keeping his job. And I mean, that should come to no surprise to anybody. I mean, there may have been a situation should we have not gotten any trophies out of the season or whatnot, but now with this pandemic situation, it pretty much guaranteed him another season. And honestly, I'm not surprised. And honestly, I think he would have had another season regardless. Even if we went trophyless, I honestly think Juve would not have gotten rid of him. So we'll see. Paulo Dybala and the captaincy. It's no surprise they've been trying to talk about Paulo Dybala's contract and locking him down for the foreseeable future. And now it's been mentioned that they see him as the captain and whatnot. And a couple fans had mentioned that he's mentally weak. For me, it's a no-brainer. After Chiellini, goes, Dybala is the captain. I don't even think right now, currently, and this is a good question for all of you, and I want to see the replies in the comments here. I don't even think Bonucci should be the vice captain currently ahead of Dybala. I think it should be Dybala. Now, the only thing is, we do not start him regularly. It seems like it's always been a battle with Dybala, but for me, he wears the 10 with pride. He loves the club. He respects the fans. He faced a huge challenge and stepped up to the plate after Juve tried to push him away this past summer. He's the guy. Our thing is we must stop trying to fit him into the club and actually build the team around him. He needs to be a focal point. Okay? He needs to be at the center of the project. And we need to do that properly. That's what I would like to see. Please comment whether you agree or disagree. I want to hear your thoughts on Paulo Dybala. Funny little rumor that had come out involving Castrovilli and Juve trying to acquire him, saying that Romero, Rugani, and Mandragora would be going the opposite direction to bring in Castrovilli. Now, I think Castrovilli is great, but this is just as bad as that Cash, Pjanic, and De Sciglio for Semedo. No, not going to buy into this one bit. Milic and Haaland. Okay, the stories and reports brought forth this weekend saying that Milic would be, this particular window for Juve, and then Haaland joining the next summer. I would be fine with that, to be honest. As long as we get Haaland at some point in time, I think we need to bring him in this club. I love that kid. I think he's a fantastic player, and I think he's got nowhere to go but up. And I think he will make a huge jump once he gets to a big club and he leaves the stepping stones. But interesting. I want to hear all your thoughts on Milic. He's not my first choice, but I would be okay with him as a backup, and I'd even be okay with him over Icardi. And I've had a great weekend talking to a lot of Juventini. Obviously played the semifinal against Jake in our Xbox One tournament, and then we ended up discussing Juve for hours after the match. And then I did a live, obviously, for about an hour and a half with Lewis, and had a lot of great people chiming in and bringing up questions and whatnot. And then, of course, Skype Juve chat with some regulars that I do on the weekends, and that was fantastic. And a lot of things come up. And Icardi seems to be one that a lot of Juventini would like to see. I'm not, and I would choose Milic over him. But I want to hear all your thoughts. I want to finish off with Giorgio Chiellini, okay? This book and all this stuff that's coming out, again, none of it is a surprise, okay? But again, now he's talking about Cardiff in there and saying nothing happened. We were just dead and exhausted, and talking about other players. Look, and then he gets into Bonucci, saying what a mistake it was to go to Milan, and just saying it was a huge, huge error. Look, I have no problems with anything he's saying. I personally don't believe what he said about Cardiff. I think he's just trying to save face as he's still part of Juve. But this is what I'm getting into. Again, my knock on our Capitano is do not put this out while you're still a current active player. Okay, and I had a brief discussion with the Juventino today actually about it, and he just said, well, look, I have no problems with it. I'm not surprised by it. We knew about Vidal's situation. We knew about Melo. We knew about Balotelli. Look, that's great. The one thing is that him putting this book out, okay, while he's still part of a current locker room, I'm fine with what he says about the others, but even getting into the Bonucci thing, I'm sure he's told Bonucci to his face when he said that. But the only thing is, why risk altering your reputation, possibly in the slightest, with someone that you're currently sharing a locker room with? Okay, this is my knock. Okay. Not everybody sees things the same. We may look at it and say, it's fine. You can go ahead. You can say all this. But not everybody thinks that way. And he's sharing a dressing room with a lot of players, with staff. Just why put yourself to that? Wait until you're retired. Why sacrifice or take the risk of somebody just changing slightly their perception of you, maybe being a little bit guarded and losing that team camaraderie, possibly, I just think why not just wait until retired? He's close to it regardless. I think he should have waited. But I want to hear what all of you have to say in regards to our Capitano and his book. Did he make a mistake? That's the question I'm going to leave you with until next time. And congratulations also. A huge thank you to everyone who purchased Striped Hearts apparel shirts during the first drop. We have our winner of the Paulo Di Palace kit, which will be shipped out to you. Meran, my friend in California, congratulations. We revealed it on the live that we did on Friday night. That baby's coming your way. Thank you, everybody, for checking out What's Up With You again this week. And we will see you next time. And as always, Forza Juve, fino alla fine. Ciao.